The objective of this video is to demonstrate how to create a shared Google Doc for classroom use so that students have access to that Google Doc through a QR code. So first, open your Google Drive and open a new document, and then give your document a name. The important thing is to set the share settings. Click on Share, and you want to make sure that it says anyone with the link, and then use the drop-down arrow to select Editor. And then copy that link. Now, anyone with the link, and that includes a link that's connected to a QR code, anyone with the link is able to come into this Google Doc and make some edits or revisions, type in their own information. Click Done, and then open a new tab, a new browser, and just search for a QR code generator. And scroll down. The one that I like to use is QR Code Monkey. This will give you unlimited scans for free. And then right here where it says your URL, get rid of the default code there and paste the link to your Google Doc, and then hit Create QR Code. This is now the QR code that will link to that shared Google Doc. So I'm going to download the PNG file. Once that file is downloaded, you will find it in your downloads. And here's that copy of the QR code. Now you can do several things with this. You can download it, copy and paste it onto a document several times, print that out, and you can glue or tape one of these to the inside of every one of the student journals so that the students have ready access to it. You could print and laminate several of these that you have throughout your classroom so that students can easily scan it when they're in class. You can put it on a slide so that when you want them to use the Google Doc, then you've got it ready for them in the slides. So however you want to use that QR code. The last thing I want to show is how to actually use that shared Google Doc. So I opened a lesson in the seminary manual, 35, 2 through 5, and I just went down through to find some of the activities that they recommend to show how quickly you can design an activity where you use your Google Doc. So in this call-out box, it says, write Nephite preparations on the board. Consider assigning the following passages to various class members or groups. So this is a great recommendation. I took those and I copied and pasted them into a Google Doc. So this is one example that you can use where you would just assign different groups to each one of those references. And then when you send them to the group work doc, then they can put their group responses right in that document. Here's another example that I pulled from the lesson. These are some of the questions. Here's a question and here's a second question. And with this one, you could have your students already assigned with the leader who leads the group work. The scribe is the person who would be recording their response on the document, and the reporter is the one who would come back and report what they learned to the rest of the class. So this is a second example of how you could use that group work document. Here's another example. You could have a silent discussion and give them a prompt or some kind of assignment, and then they each have their name and they would click here and type in their response. So everybody is responding individually. You can use this group work doc as a launch pad for classroom discussion once they're done with their group work. You can also use it to see if there's any students who aren't making any additions to the doc, perhaps they have some questions, or maybe they don't have access to it. All of the students will be able to view the document with that QR code link, but they will only be able to edit if they actually have the Google Doc app on their phone. Most of them do for their other schoolwork, but occasionally they will only be able to view. And if that's the case, just don't assign them as the scribe if you're doing group work. So they can still view it, but they just can't add to it. So for those of you who are new to using a QR code, your students will open their camera app and they will position their camera as though they are taking a picture, and it will bring up a little, as it recognizes that it's a QR code, it will bring up a little banner on the bottom, and they touch the banner and that opens the document on their phone. I love using these group work docs so that I can get really organized with my groups, and so the students know exactly what they're supposed to do and I don't have to keep repeating the instructions. And also it gives everyone some positive and productive ways to use technology in the middle of class.